All right, welcome back, everybody, to yet another Ville update regarding the 2023 JCPS busing situation, Conundrum, whatever you might want to call it. Have there been improvements? Sure, maybe, but have some things happen that probably are just kind of not acceptable or really shouldn't happen? I don't know. We'll let you decide. Hang out and we'll talk about it. With that, we'll just jump straight into it and bring up some of the articles, kind of like we've done before with this whole situation. And we will start off with crashes. So we reported Saturday on Friday, and then, Monday morning, once all the kids are in high school and everybody, there's 4 crashes, 4 different buses Monday morning.
Hey, at least it was just 4 of them,
I mean, yeah. And who knows whose fault it is, right? Like, we don't know. I haven't read all of the reports to determine all of that, but it's just kind of like, well, there's your headline for the morning. And then the part that everyone, of course, wonders about and stresses about, kids getting home. So there was a 5th bus crash on Monday on the way home, dropping kids off around 5 p.m. at Shelbyville and Eastwood cut-off roads. So,
hey, at least it was only 5. Like they're...
Oh, goodness. Well, beyond that, I think some of the... Going back to the things that should have never happened, like those things are unavoidable in some circumstances.
Right.
Those things happen. We understand that. But when we have a couple articles here where kids are just dropped off like miles away from their correct stop, that's when you start to have to question things. In this article specifically, the kid was dropped off roughly 2.7 miles from his scheduled stop. Mom waited at the stop from 3 to 3:45, and the son's stop was listed as 2:59 p.m. So she said she got worried, and at 4 p.m. she found the bus at another school and asked them, and the kid was apparently dropped off on Beach Street, and she had no idea why. So 13-year-old kid, he made his way to West Ormsby Avenue, which is about a 27-minute walk. And I think the scarier part in all of this is the heat right now.
Right. The governor just issued like a warning because of the heat wave this week.
Yeah. Like, these kids cannot be dropped off at the wrong place in this kind of heat. And I mean, I don't know, like we were kind of talking before the show, I don't know, like, if drivers need assistance to help check and make sure kids are getting off at the right places. I don't know what needs to happen, but that would scare the hell out of me as a parent.
Definitely.
And I've said it in the last couple of updates we've done on this situation. I'm very thankful that my daughter's not in school right now and I'm not having to worry about it. But next year, I probably will, and it just makes me want to just drive her to school, like a lot of parents have decided to do.
Right, which goes to say, even with all these issues, a lot of parents took it in their own hands and are picking their kids up, dropping them off. And the school buses are still being overwhelmed. They're still having issues not picking them up and dropping them off at the right places. So it might just get worse.
Yeah, it's scary. If it wasn't bad enough that a 13-year-old is dropped off 2.7 miles away from home. A second grader was dropped off a mile away from home. And I think that's even more extreme because there's definitely a much different age there, and it was confirmed that they had the correct bus tag. So going back to the whole, like, do these drivers need assistance? Do they have assistance? Is there anyone there checking? Like, I really don't know what to say. But again, as a parent, I would not know what to do if I couldn't find my kid. You know what I'm saying? We've also seen some reports that there was some questions from parents about whether or not the last drop-off was actually at 7:48 p.m. on Monday. I don't know exactly what's prompted those questions, but the officials, everybody says that was the time.
So are they implying that the parents that are reporting different are lying?
I really don't know. I didn't find too much on it, really, at least not from them. And I didn't watch this video specifically. But that could only be the assumption, right? It's just...
Which, when especially with middle schoolers, I mean, I do have to say this, like I'm not saying this about, some of these kids, but I know when I was 13, they dropped me off at the wrong spot or something. I wanted to go hang out with my friends and I got in trouble. I blame it on the bus, when I was a kid, I'm not saying that any of this happened here, but maybe that's why there could be some conflict, between what JCPS is saying and what other reports are.
Entirely possible. Who knows? We only know what's been reported, but again, as a parent, like, I just don't know how to feel or what to think. But I think some good things, despite everything else, is the superintendent apparently drove 4 students home on Monday, which is dedication,
Yeah.
They mentioned one of the improvements was having extra vehicles available to get kids home. And JCPS confirmed that the superintendent himself did drive a vehicle to take 4 students home from 2 different schools. So he's taken a lot of heat. He's taken a lot of, press and whatever. But I guess he's at least doing what he can, and he's at least getting involved and getting engaged himself. He's not just stepping away from it.
Right. So that says a lot. I mean, it could have went the other way where he just, ignored the complaints and things like that, but he is being proactive, actually getting out there and helping get the students home himself. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. So as we've kind of mentioned, JCPS parents have definitely had mixed reactions on the 3rd day of school. Which, I mean, it's the 3rd day of school after school started like 10 days ago, which I think that's important to call out. But, I mean, Friday, I think the final drop-off time was pretty much the same as it was yesterday. But yesterday, all schools, all grade levels were in session. So I think that definitely caused us some manner of improvement because there's definitely more kids out, right? So
getting there.
And finally, we see that the issues have prompted a Louisville congressman to ask for federal assistance with bus driver shortage. So
they're getting the feds involved.
Yeah, Louisville Representative Morgan McGarvey has asked the U.S. Department of Education to help with the bus driver shortage. McGarvey sent a letter to the department asking for grants, more funding, and other resources to address the shortage. The congressman said the major issues with transportation at Jefferson County Public Schools prompted him to ask for help. Every parent deserves to send their kids to school with peace of mind that they're being taken care of and will come home safely, McGarvey said in a news release Tuesday. So he himself is a JCPS parent and sent his son to school on a bus for the first day, and his son did not get home until after dinner. So he has recognized that the drivers, faculty, and staff went above and beyond, but they need help. So it kind of echoes what we've kind of been saying. Like, we understand people are doing the best of their abilities, but they need help. And it's okay if they need help, but hopefully they can get help.
I mean, it's insanely, frustrating all around. But we know that, these people, the administrators and the people that are, doing the logistics to make this happen, that they didn't do this on purpose. It was, an accident, as far as, a lot of dropping the ball, but hopefully, with this extra support that can, solve some of these problems.
Yeah, of course. Hopefully they get some things worked out, and hopefully we continue to see more improvements. And if they need help, hopefully McGarvey's letter will get them help from the feds, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's just kind of the facts of the situation. As a parent, I'm definitely not happy to see how it's unfolded, but again, we're on the outside looking in, so we try to reserve judgment as best we can. But I don't know how I would handle it if my kid got home that late, or, if my kid was dropped off 3 miles, a mile, whatever, away from home, especially as like a second grader. So,
No.
With that being said, again, hopefully they continue to improve and get things figured out and worked out, and things just get better. So, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that's about it.
I guess with that, we'll end this segment, and I guess we will see y'all next time.